A very good day to all our viewers. My name is Dr. Nisi from Ashes to Beauty, A2B. To my friends in China, Ni hao. I have new viewers. Today we are talking about a very sensitive issue. 1 in every 3 women has been beaten. 1 in every 4, whether pregnant or not, they also have been beaten. 1 in every 5 attempted rape or have been raped. Gender-based violence has become an issue. As our president in South Africa has said, it is the second pandemic that is happening. I have here today with me 2 women who will tell their story, tell us where they come from, and tell us what has happened. But what I like about everything is they have come out victorious. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Dr. Nisi.
Please tell our viewers at home who you are and where you come from.
Good morning, I am Pastor Michelle. I am the founder of Agape Life Center, a care center that takes care of the vulnerable who has gone through the same things that I've been through, gender-based violence. I first want to thank God for this opportunity, and then I want to thank the founder of Phenomenal Woman, Precious Adams, for allowing me to be on set here today. Then I want to thank Dr. Nisi for the invitation. I want to thank the crew, and I want to thank your viewers for listening to me. My story started at a very tender age. So at a very tender age, I was introduced to the threshing floor. And you know the threshing floor is where you are crushed. So my crushing started there at the age of 5, until 12, then 15. All right. So what happened at the age of 5? I was molested, I was raped, I was sexually abused by family members from my paternal side. And then in high school, I was 15. We bunked school that day. I will never forget. And we had a little party, and yes, I was raped. Opened a case, but I lost the case because he told them that he loved me and he was in love with me. That's what happened.
Let's give another lady an opportunity to introduce herself.
Good morning to everybody. My name is Shanae. I'm from the Aldegrado Park. I'm part of an NGO group called Phenomenal Woman. I want to thank God for this opportunity and this platform. I want to thank Dr. Nisi for giving us this opportunity and for the invite to come and tell our story, because gender-based violence is real and it needs to be stopped. Now my story started when I got married. I dated my ex-husband for 2 years. We had a son, and when my son was 5 months, we got married. The signs were there while we were dating, but I ignored it. You know, I was in denial, thinking and hoping that he will come right, he will change. And then we got married, and the abuse started, the actual abuse, where I was beaten, where I was sexually abused, verbally, emotionally, and mentally. And in that process, I became a person that I did not even recognize, that I couldn't recognize anymore. But yet still I hoped and prayed that you would change. And I stayed for the sake of the children. And it made of me a different person, where I had a self-low esteem. I became selfless, you know, where I didn't worry anymore about myself. I couldn't wear makeup because he was very possessive. He wasn't jealous, he was possessive. And he was so abusive toward me, especially when it became verbally. The words he would use toward me, it was really painful. And because of that, I suffered of migraines. I had lower back migraines. I had lower back pinched nerves, and I had I had depression. And it really affected me emotionally and mentally, where I used to be forgetful. I couldn't like associate with people because he felt that I was gonna expose him. So I wasn't with my family. He kept away from everything and everybody.
So he makes you to separate
Yes,
from everybody.
yes.
So you do not tell the story.
No. He made sure that I didn't have a relationship, I didn't have friends. I couldn't have friends. I didn't socialize with anybody because he was scared that I was gonna tell my story then.
If our president is talking about gender-based violence and femicide, how would you say to somebody, as you said, there are signs.
Yes.
You said it has happened to you. And I believe at the age of 5, you do not even know this is gender-based violence and femicide. How or what can you tell our viewers in Charlotte? How do you know it is gender-based violence? And how does it work from one person to another?
With me, after they did what they did to me, they would say, "You must keep quiet. Don't tell anybody. Because if you do tell, then we will kill you."
And you're a child at the time.
And I was a child at the time.
Michelle, if I can ask, where were your parents if this thing is happening in your home?
My parents was at work.
Oh.
Yes, my parents was at work.
To the signs to look for is when, like in my experience, is when your partner speaks to you. It depends how you feel. Do you feel fearful? Do you feel threatened? Because once you feel threatened or once you're fearful towards your partner, that's one of the first signs.
Yeah.
You know, and if you are slipping into a depression, because once you're afraid, there's a difference between being afraid of someone and having a fear towards someone.
Right.
Because it's okay to be afraid of someone, because that means you respect that someone. But to be afraid, be fearful towards someone, it comes with a lot of things, Dr. Nisi. I used to have like anxiety attacks because of that fear. I used to have a running stomach from the Wednesday up until the Sunday night. Then only it will disappear. Because I know, because then I know, it's we're nearing the weekend. So I know I'm going to be beaten again.
All right, so when you say weekend and be beaten, what is the common thing between the weekend and the beating?
The common thing is like he used to do it a lot on weekends. It was like it became like a norm to him by beating me on weekends. During the week it was fine. It was fine. He was like a normal person during the week. But on weekends, he was just a different person because then he was drinking, he was out with friends. And the other sign also to look for is when a man looks for a fight. He will start a fight, unnecessary fight. He will even start with the dog, ending off with the kids, just so that you can get involved, and then he has a fight with you so that he can go out and be with his friends, go on a drinking spree.
Yes, when you're in a violent relationship, in a violent marriage, like I was too, you become so fearful, you become very anxious, you are depressed all the time, you want to sleep and you don't want to mingle with anybody, you feel ashamed and
Embarrassed.
you feel embarrassed. I remember in my marriage it was really horrible. I had a stepdaughter and she would come over to my place. And I remember very well, I was pregnant at the time. And he didn't care whether or not I was carrying our child. But he would beat me, and it was just devastating. So if there's somebody out there who's going through the same things, please don't keep quiet. Speak to somebody about it. Report it. Get counseling. Because what it does at the end of the day, it drives you to suicide. You start having suicidal thoughts. Even at my early stage, when I was raped at my younger, I used to contemplate suicide so much. But the grace of God.
Yes, I wanted to know, what is that thing that kept you?
The grace of God located me, and the grace of God transformed me into this wonderful being that I am today. When grace locates you, you begin to forgive. And once forgiveness sets in, then you flourish, you grow, you forget about everything that you've been through. The crushing transformed me into a minister. A minister of the word, a minister of song, and now I can counsel others. Amen, Bazalwane.
Amen.
It's so true, Pastor Michelle. When you talk about the crushing part, sometimes we have to go through that crushing in order for God to use us. And I do agree with you when you say that it was only grace that sustained us. That is how I made it, because of the grace of God. If it was not for God, I don't think I would have been alive today. Because when I think there was a time when I had a nervous breakdown, Dr. Nisi, you can actually feel, you can feel that nervous breakdown. It's like, when people say that you can feel the screws coming loose in your head, that's true. It's true. And I was like this person when I didn't know, I wasn't aware of my whereabouts, but God kept me.
But both of you have spoken about children. Where are the children when all this thing is happening?
My son was right there, watching. And even today, when we have this conversation, he will say, "Mommy, I remember what your husband did to you, and it wasn't nice. I remember we were married just 2 months, and he said we must take a drive. I think it was during Christmas time. I wanted to spend time with my family, but he was against it. He said to me, "No, you're not going to your family. We're going to spend time together." And he said, "Let's get into the car." We got into the car, my son and I, and he drove off. But he revved that car and he said, "I'm going to drive into a wall and kill all of us." So my son was there, watching what was happening. But I thank God that today, even he serves the Lord. He didn't turn him into a villain himself. We came out victorious from this whole ordeal.
So are there any places, if one finds themselves in this situation, where you can get some help or call somebody or send a message through? It depends on how you send a message. But one needs to have a place of shelter. One needs to have a place where you know that this is the day and I'm moving out of this.
Thank you for that question, Pastor Nisi. What I also want to mention is, yes, they are shelters, but what the victims must remember out there, because men who are abusive are very dangerous. When they say they're going to kill you or hurt you, they mean it, because they're psychologically sick. So what the victims need to do is work out a plan. Like if you plan on leaving, work out, like take some clothing and leave it at a family member's house, and save some money. Put money away for the day when you decide, okay, this is the day that I'm breaking free, that I'm running. And then take out that protection order, just to protect yourself
And the children also.
and the
yes.
children as well. Because my ex-husband used to threaten me and tell me that I'm going to kill the children, I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to kill myself. So I had to draw up a plan. You can't just walk away. You can't. You're putting you and your children's lives in danger. So work out that plan and work it out carefully. You know, talk to someone that you trust.
Yes.
Someone that you really trust completely. Get involved, get in touch with people that works with gender-based violence, you know. I was in a shelter, but I had to plan it so carefully where he was at work while I left. So it's very, very important to work out a plan and make sure that that plan is put into place. So that day when you're going to use it, then you know that plan is going to work for you and the kids.
Wow. Tell us more about Phenomenal Woman. You said it's an NPO? NGO.
Okay, a Phenomenal Woman
Yeah.
is women, 9 women.
All right.
We working with GBV. You know, women that's been abused out there. So we started this group because there's a big cry out there outside. You know, all women want is they want to be listened to. Because women who are abused feel they are misunderstood. I feel like nobody understands me. Nobody knows what am I going through. So we are a support system for women out there. We are the voice for women who can't talk, who can't scream for help, or who is too fearful to cry out for help. That is what we stand for.
Pastor Michelle, on your side, what do you do with your NPO? Is it yours an NPO or is it a ministry?
It's an NPO.
All right.
It's a ministry. It's an all-in-one thing.
All right.
Yes, it's a holistic ministry for those in need. At the moment, I don't have a shelter, but everyone that I counsel comes to my apartment.
All right.
Yes. You know, this vision has been given to me by God Himself a few years ago. And the name Agape Life Center was given to me by God Himself as well. And I said to Him, okay, Lord, I'm registering the center, but where's the center going to come from? And He
You
said,
mean the actual building?
the building, the actual building. Where's the actual building going to come from? And He said, because I have given you this vision, I will make sure that this vision comes to pass. Amen. And so it is registered, but I work from my apartment. And yes, it's just a beautiful thing that the Lord has done in my life, you know. After everything that I've been through, a beautiful thing has birthed from it, you know. Taking care of those in need. It's and I just love what God is doing in my life. You know, I am able to communicate with those who was beat in a marriage. I'm able to communicate with those who are divorced because I finally divorced him, you know. I left my home without my clothes. I left my home without anything in it. I just left without anything. That's the grace of God. So yeah, you know, no matter what you're going through, once God touches you, He can turn that whole situation around. You don't remain a victim forever, because I am here this morning and I'm saying to you that you are a victor.
Yes.
Don't remain a victim. Report the crime. Take out the restraining order. Do whatever necessary. But get out, speak up, and all shall be well in good time. Amen. Break the silence. Yes. Break the circle of silence. Yes. And just remember that God loves you. And I, Pastor Mish, He loves you with the agape love of the Lord. Amen.
I just want to encourage the ladies out there and just tell you that remember one thing, that God will never give you situations without solutions. And there's a reason why God allows things to happen, because God allows us to go through situations because He wants to use us. So He is making you strong. He's making out of you a bold woman. I wasn't always the strong and bold woman. No, I was a very fearful woman. I couldn't speak up. I couldn't speak about what I went through. My experiences, I couldn't speak so freely about it. But because God told me that in order for you to be healed, you need to forgive. So I chose to forgive Him. Because I asked God, when are you going to heal me? Then God said, in order for your healing process to start, you need to forgive. It wasn't easy, but I forgave. And everything broke. The resentment, the hatred, everything broke because God is able. He's the God of love. And today I am here because it was prophesied over my life that your pain will be your ministry one day. And I am standing in my ministry today, Dr. Nisi, because you know what? God is using me in this way to speak out for other women. You know, God told me that He had to crush you because I was worshiping the ground my ex-husband walked on. And because of obedience, I am here where I am today. But like Pastor Michelle said, women need to break the silence. They need to get out. Do not wait and pray and hope that He's going to change. If He has not changed within a year or a few years, He's not willing to change. Because in order for a man to change, he must want to change in order for God to change him. Because God forces Himself on no one. He's a fair and just God. He's a gentle God. So He will force Himself on no one. So the person who abuses you, he must want to change in order for God to change him.
So what will you say to those families out there, as they will say, gender-based violence and femicide? Most of the women didn't come out alive. They didn't make it. So what would you say to those families out there? What would you say to our sisters, our mothers, our children that never make it?
Wow, it's so sad.
It's a very sad reality that not all victims come out alive. And I believe that if they gathered the strength to speak up, they probably could have been alive. But then when you are in the position where you can't even help yourself, it becomes something else. It is my prayer today that those who have gone home in the hope of rising again, that the Lord will remember them, because they've been taken out of this world prematurely by the victim, before their time. And I want to say to the families who has lost loved ones due to the fact of gender-based violence, I want y'all to find it in your hearts to forgive the perpetrator. Because if you don't forgive the perpetrator, you are closing avenues of blessing upon your life. There is no way that God can move mightily in your life if you are still holding on to yesterday. I know that losing a loved one is painful, but by the grace of God, you will come out victoriously on the other side. But you must forgive. Forgive yourself first for harboring ill feelings towards the perpetrator, and then forgive the perpetrator and ask God for the peace of God that surpasses all understanding. And I believe that God will give that peace to you. The same peace that He has given me after everything that I've been through. I am still standing and I'm still smiling, and I can counsel somebody who has been through rape, domestic violence and the works.
Yes.
Then I want to say, mommy, daddy, if your child is withdrawn, it is a sign that something is not right. Please take your son or your daughter for counseling so that you can find out where it is coming from, especially if your child is the bubbly sort.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nisi.
I want to encourage the families out there who has lost a loved one due to GBV. Like Pastor Michelle said, you have to forgive. You know, there's a saying that says, let go and let God. God is going to heal you, you know. If you find yourself in that place where you feel you've been done injustice, you know. But I want to tell you, God is the judge above all judges. Judge, you know, He is the judge where He will stand for everybody. So I wanna encourage you and say, if you've lost a sister, you've lost a daughter, be that voice and speak for that person that can speak no more. And even if there's children that's left behind, take the children for counseling. They have to go for counseling. I'm speaking out of my own experience where I had to take my children for counseling. I have boys. I have boys, and it affects them emotionally, mentally, because they're gonna think this is right. What daddy did to my mother, it's right, and it's not right. We have to train and equip the boys from a young age and teach them to say, you never lift your hands for a woman, for your wife. You need to be respectful when it comes to a woman. Because, you know, a man is here on earth because of a woman. So you need to respect a woman. Charity begins at home. It begins at home. So I just want to say, as a family, pray together, because a family that prays together stays together, and God is going to come through for them.
Wow. We have heard it. Gender-based violence and femicide. It's never an easy topic. But they have spoken their stories, and we are hoping that somebody out there have heard us and will just walk out. Plan it very well and walk out before it's too late. My name is Dr. Nisi from Ashes to Beauty. Keep watching.